Hello and welcome to the Battle Systems tutorial video for the Maladum expansion, Oblivion's Maw. This is an absolutely awesome expansion, and what we're going to deal with today is just the terrain inside here. Of course, this set comes with the beautiful big corruptor miniatures with all the tentacles that you can hack off, and you know, each one of those tentacles is represented as a part of its health, and then there's all the other bits and pieces in here, the little minions that come up and support this particular beast and its rules and everything else. But this video is going to focus on the terrain, and there's quite a lot of terrain in here, lots of unique walls and big arches and pillars with like raised areas, so you can go up a ladder and have this little extra bit of level to your Maladum game. It looks really cool. It's all overgrown and kind of viney, but we're going to deal specifically with the terrain and how you can kind of add that to your normal Maladum terrain set. So without further ado, let's get inside and put this together. Okay, so I've removed the sheets from the box. First and foremost, we have a padded envelope here, and the winner is this bag of clips. So we've included a few extra clips within here. Obviously, you're gonna have a whole bunch more than you need clips in your Maladum core set. And obviously this is an expansion to that. However, because of some of the unique ways that some of these upper level bits go together, we will require some additional cross clips and things. So we've just added some extra in there, so you've got as much variety as possible. So if I can open this, and I'll just tip this off to one side so that I've got some clips to demo with. And then inside we've got Oblivion's Maw terrain, and the first sheet is called Oblivion's Maw terrain, and the second sheet is called Oblivion's Maw terrain. So there's two of these. After that, we've got two more sheets. One is called Oblivion's Maw terrain sheet 2, and the other one is called the same because it's the same sheet. So you've effectively got two different designs twice. Okay, so the first sheet is pretty basic. If you've got Maladum, this almost doesn't need explanation. So what we've got here is we've basically got, you know, a wall. All of these sheets have got some really nice kind of green, luscious kind of vine work across them. The magic in this area overspills and creates lots and lots of growth. So all of these walls have got this kind of nice texture and some nice sort of blue watery textures, and you've got usual things. You've got, you know, some new wall textures, and you've got one here that's got a door in it, open or closed. We've got some new entrances in the in Maladum. You've always got the kind of the entrance sheets, which are really cool and they're covered in vines. I really love those. Are some of my favorite walls. And again, here you've got the same thing, but these ones are really overgrown with vines. You've also got here a wall that's slightly different. Again, a nicely textured up wall, but it's got this little ruin symbol on it here, sort of glowing in blue, and what that is a little secret doorway, as it were, which you could put in there, and you can have that, you know, kind of do this if you want, and kind of open and close, as it were, if you want it, or just completely remove it as a secret entrance. That's really cool. We haven't done the secret entrance before, certainly not in the Maladum core set. So that's a unique wall, as it were. Then we've got more walls, and we've got like a half wall, just so that you've got lots of this additional greenery texture to expand on the normal walls of your dungeon. We've also got a ladder in here, because if you've only got Maladum the core set, then that is a purely single level set. Well, this set's gonna create a little, not too much, but a little bit of upper level areas for your gaming, which is really cool because it creates some unique rules and things. So we need a ladder to access those areas. We've got some struts on here, and the struts, just like in Maladum, you've got lots of really cool struts, vine struts and stone struts, etc. There's a little quarter wall there. and this has got some of those in as well. I really do believe that that's what brings the sets to life. I'm just going to pop out the little pieces that need to be popped out here. With these struts, unlike some of the ones in the Maladam core set, they will utilize clips in order to hold them in. So this one, for example, utilizes a clip to hold it in to create a nice strut when you're you know, along a wall, whereas these ones, like the traditional struts, will just clip into a wall like that, and they have a little bit of extra foliage that you can clip into them, just so that with these ones you've got a little bit of extra kind of 3D effect to them. And by the time you start making corridors with all of these in and stuff, it looks really cool. So really happy with those. Okay, so they're pretty self-explanatory. Again, you've got Maladam, you really almost don't need the video for this, but it's nice to see. I'll pop that over there. And then finally on this sheet you've got this little plank, which if you want you can pop these out to have it kind of much more ruined up. I always like to do this because it just adds that 3D element. And you'll see once we build the little upper raised areas, it's great just to be able to put a plank kind of to walk up to access it, or between two of these areas that your guys can precariously venture across for a little bit of high ground. So if your characters are on top of there, don't try it. I think, and so we've got two of these sheets, so you've got two ladders, you've got two of these, and a whole big variety of walls, including two of these secret walls, which are also great for objectives. Nice and simple, just like Maladam, you just make up your own configuration. That's great. So what that leaves us with then is this other design of sheet, again, of which there are two. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to handle this upper area that we spoke about with these little pieces here and some of these little scaffolding pieces or supports. So I'm going to just pop off some of these pieces. Okay, so I've just popped off the sheets some of the parts that will represent making up some of the higher levels, and I'll grab a couple of these walls just to, you know, demonstrate how these might go together. It's a pretty simple principle, and the idea is that you're going to effectively connect one of these to the top of a wall and then clip that into here, which creates basically this upper level in its most simplistic form, and then you're just going to place one of the supports here. I mean, it doesn't need the support because it's clipped into the wall, so it's pretty strong, but the supports add the nice little railing effect and I guess more support as well, and it just makes the whole thing sort of come to life. So in its simplest form, I'm just going to clip one of these onto the wall. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a T-clip, so I'm going to clip that onto here. Then I'm going to take one of these at the top of here, and I'm going to clip that on here. And you can see you've already got this kind of upper level. And if I just grab one of these and put this over here, so you could, you know, imagine this as part of an ongoing dungeon. Then what you can do is you can grab a little L clip here, and we're gonna locate this through here like this, and we're just gonna slot it down into the into here like so. Come on, there we go. And we'll place this on here, and we'll clip it on the front, and there you have your little additional walkway. And if we remember the ladder, we've got a ladder here, and if we've got another one over here, we might have another little one of these walkways maybe on a wall over here, and you can then bridge it with this here, or we've got this other little piece here which you could just kind of put an angle and just have people kind of stand on the top of your wall there and create this, you know, various different kind of shapes. Now you'll notice that these are kind of cut off at an angle. The reason is because we want to be able to have these go around a corner. So if I grab another wall like this and an L clip and put this here just so I can demonstrate, and you might have a T clip or an X clip and more walls going off over here. If you've got something like this, you would effectively do the same thing. So we're going to grab a T clip and we're going to put this on here. I'm going to drop that onto here. Then we're going to take this one and we're going to reverse it so it sits this way. And you could then, if you wanted to, take one of these smaller struts like this and put it onto here. So you've got this little broken area. Hey ho, perfect place to pop a little ladder in there to get up there, or if you've, you know, have a little slope, and this will be your access point, as it were. And that then breaks up this repeated pattern. But just as equally, you could take another one of these. Just pop that off really quickly. And you could use one of these to, you know, kind of join that up a little bit more and put that on there, so it's much more of a closed loop. But that's entirely up to you. I think it's much better this way. Having said that, these are designed that if you've got like a single running wall like this, these will actually fit together perfectly to enable you to kind of make a like a longer run, as it were. You know, just in case you've got two that kind of butt up against each other, you don't want to use two of these, you know, or two of these, and you will be able to. This is exactly the length. You know, it doesn't happen very often that you need to get it that way, but these are designed so that you can at least pair them up together, which is really, really cool. And so this is all you do for your upper levels, which is great. You've got 4 of these pieces and 4 of these rails, and you've got 2 of these and 2 of these. Okay, so you've then got 2 of these and you've got 2 of these. So this will really give you a lot of flexibility to, you know, be able to create lots of upper level areas for your terrain to allow you to you know, have the high ground, use those special rules for that, as it were. So that's how you make the upper levels, as it were. So I'm going to just drop those over there. Then bringing it back over to here on the sheet, we've got these, well, it looks like one archway, and again it's set up specifically that way so that the distance here is exactly one wall. So if I pop these out very quickly, you'll very quickly notice that these are actually in 2 bits. So don't worry if you're popping this out, you're like, oh my god, I broke it. You haven't. It's in 2 parts, but tooled together so that it fits perfectly together. And this just allows you to, you know, create some really nice archways in your set. So if we just cannibalize that really quickly, and let's say we've got this here and this over here. Might have a thing like that. Maybe this strut sticking out here or something. And then what you've got is you can obviously have a nice archway at some point in your set if you've got like a corridor or whatever, or it might be that your setup is a little bit different, but it still creates this nice kind of grand entrance to, you know, I'm sure in this set it will be the corruptor. You want to get in there and be hacking the tentacles off of that thing. So these are really nice, and they can just but they could just equally just be used as struts, you know. So you can have like just like these little struts here. You can just decide that you want some, you know, some cool struts on your walls in various different locations, and they're textured slightly differently, of course, so that there's no repeat pattern, as it were. Again, you've got 4 of these in total, or 4 halves, as it were, 2 holes. So that's really good. Great for making like the grand entrance. So what have we got left over here? The only things we've got left on this set now are, we've got this pillar, which is a really nice kind of pillar, and we've got a little plinth as well, which is kind of spread across 2 sheets. So let's grab the plinth first. Okay, here's the plinth, and if you, assuming you've already got them in order to use this set, so this slots together and is made exactly the same way as we make our little wooden crates in the Maladam core set. So you can literally just slot this together like so. A little wiggle to get it nice and flat and standing upright. You've then got a little base piece that you can pop into the bottom like so, and again you just drop a little bit of glue in the bottom of there if you want to hold that in place. That's great. Then you've got a lid that goes on top, which means this other little piece here will glue underneath so that will hold in place. Now with these, because there's a little bit sticking up, it doesn't slide off anyway because it's held by here, but to be perfectionist as it were, we're going to just drop a little bit of glue on the top of here, like so. I'm going to drop this into the center as best I can, line that up with my ease, like so. And when I'm holding this for it to dry, what you've got here is, because we spread this over 2 sheets, we kind of halved everything up, but we don't need 2 lids, so you get an additional lid here. So I don't know, you might make a mistake or you want an extra thick lid or something, you can glue those together, but there you go. That then fits in there, and it's actually got a little catch now so that it doesn't come off because you've got this extra little piece inside. If you're completely nuts, you could grab a scalpel and just kind of run it across here and here, and then stick this little middle piece on top of here if you want to make the top of this plinth slightly higher, or even better, cut a piece out and get left with just the outside square bit and put that on so it's got like a little recess. That would be really cool. So you don't need to chuck that away, you can have some fun with that. But there's the little plinth, I'll put that over there. Only thing we've got left now is this pillar. And this is a really, really cool pillar. It's unlike any of the other pillars that we've done so far. So I'm going to pop out all the parts for that. Okay, so here's all the parts of the pillar. The main body of the pillar has got some nice little half cuts in it. We'll wrap those around there, and you'll notice there's a little symbol. There's lots of symbols on here, but one of the little symbols on here is kind of all sparkly glowy, so it's obviously been struck down by a lightsaber or something. And then we've got this base, which is like a 2-part base. And what we're going to do this is, again, this has got 2 little symbols on it here, and if you line up the 2 symbols like so, all the 3D foliage lines up as well, so that would be really, really cool. And this is going to be one of these things you're probably going to want to glue together, but I'm just going to show you without gluing it how it actually goes together. So this is going to wrap round, and once you've got those 2 pieces in, you can slot that in, making sure that the all the symbols kind of line up, which I absolutely didn't do. So let me just turn that around a little bit. There we go. So I've got blue glowy symbol down to symbol on the top, and then again you've got this symbol here, which then fits into the 2 slots at the top like so, which holds the whole structure together. And then finally you've got this little piece on top, which you would just drop a little bit of glue on there. And it also comes with this little counter. This is kind of like awesome for scenarios and things. So this is the same size as a normal equipment token that your adventurers would find in their cargo and their crates, etc, etc. Maybe it's hidden in this plinth somewhere in the dungeon. You have to collect this, get to the pillar, drop it on to activate it, and then boom, all hell breaks loose, objective complete, the corruptor arrives, whatever. So maybe that's in this plinth here, or maybe it's just hidden randomly across all of the cargo. But this is effectively what that pillar is. And again, what you'd probably want to do here is, you know, once you've got happy that you've got it assembled and you know how it's going to get together, you can just drop a little bit of glue onto the various bits. So you could do like this. This will then drop on here. I'd probably get that in quick to make sure that we're still lined up. While that's drying, I'll drop a little bit of glue on the top of here. And actually, in hindsight, you probably want to apply that glue to the bottom of this piece here. But I do know exactly where this goes, so we'll do that. That fits in there. Excellent. By the time you've done that, this bottom piece here is dry. So what you could do then is you could apply a little bit of glue around the bottom of here, just on the outside, not the bottom of the pillar, but not the very bottom of the base that's going to touch the floor. And then I'm going to turn this so I can line the symbol up, remembering which way this goes around. I mean, you don't have to line the symbol up, I just, you know, I like things to be in place as intended. And so that's now glued in there, and that is effectively all glued together and will be completely solid. You can then add a fraction of glue just into that bit there as well. This holds on really and clips on really nicely anyway, but hey ho, you might want to do that. And that's the pillar, and there's two of those in there, so you've got those two pillows, you've got those two pillars as well. Yeah, that is the Oblivion's Moor. It's an expansion that goes to your Maladum, so you want to kind of set up your Maladum one area and then have it kind of blend into this new overgrown magically green area. Or maybe you've got a second Maladum mat, and you can put those two mats together. Then you can stretch out the core set and this together to make maybe a long kind of 4 foot by 2 foot instead of 2 foot by 2 foot for a big sort of epic battle against the Corruptor. But yeah, really, really cool. Really enjoyed putting this set together. I hope you did too. Yeah, awesome.